Practically every weekend, realtors hold open houses. Buyers walk through. They seem to love the house. They ask tons of questions. They stay a long time. They want to see a copy of the home inspection report. They give you the name of their realtor. But when Monday comes and you follow up with them or their realtor, suddenly that enthusiasm seems gone. Why? Why is a good response at an open house so much less likely to lead to a purchase than a scheduled showing? I'll give you 3 theories about why open house enthusiasm almost never turns into an offer, and 1 strategy for only getting real buyers through the house. Here's something most people don't realize. Open houses are fundamentally different emotional experience than a private showing. It's Sunday. The door is literally propped open. There's no appointment needed. There's no clock running. People feel free to be enthusiastic in a way they probably won't be when they're standing in a house with their realtor, knowing they're there specifically to make a decision. Maybe this particular theory should be called the weekend effect. This one is counterintuitive. A buyer can generally love a house and still have no intention of buying it. They admire the kitchen, they love the living room, the fireplace. They mean every word of what they're saying, but they haven't made a mental leap from "this is a really nice house" to "this is our house." And their realtor probably already knows this. After 3 weeks of looking at homes together, a good realtor has a pretty clear picture of what actually moves the needle for their clients. When you call on Monday, they're not surprised that they came into the open house, and they generally don't seem optimistic that the buyers are ready to make an offer. That's theory number 2, good house versus our house. But here's the one that I keep coming back to in my mind, and I think it's the most telling. Serious buyers just behave differently. When someone is close to making an offer, they almost never want to go to the open house. They want a private showing where they can talk freely with one another, have a real conversation with their realtor about pros and cons, without 12 people watching over their shoulder or listening to their conversation. Open houses tend to attract buyers who are still orienting themselves, still figuring out which neighborhoods they like, what their dollars buy them in this area versus that. That's a real and useful stage. Open houses serve a purpose, but it's usually very early in the process, sort of top of funnel. One more thing, neighbors often give open houses that vibe of raging success. Neighbors love open houses. They'll give you the most thorough, appreciative walkthrough of anyone there, but they're generally just curious what the kitchen looks like when you're not looking at it through the kitchen window. Open house enthusiasm is a bit like a good first date. It's a promising sign, but it's not a marriage proposal. There are reasonable arguments, I think, in favor of doing open houses. They probably don't hurt anything, and they can really only help, even if the odds are low of selling from an open house. But if you want serious buyers walking through, and only serious buyers, which is true for a lot of sellers, the real buyers will make an appointment.